The spring of 2025 has come with an unexpected surprise for the international music scene. Just after news of Jungkook's return from South Korea's mandatory military service broke, new speculation began to roll in, a transcontinental collaboration that sounded so improbable, yet too beautiful not to be imagined. BTS's Jungkook and Zayn Malik, a Pakistani-blooded British soloist whose charisma never faded even away from the boy band spotlight. The news first emerged from a cryptic post on Instagram. An Insta story lasting less than 5 seconds, uploaded by a music producer who is known to have worked with both artists. In the video, a soft melodic beat is heard with a beat reminiscent of Zayn's signature R&B feel, but with backing vocals that sound very familiar, clear, emotional, and undeniably Jungkook's. The fans immediately went crazy. "Is this real?" wrote a user X, formerly Twitter. Zayn and Jungkook in one song? The world is not ready. But before the speculation gets any wilder, let's take a step back and see how these two stars from different worlds can pass each other in the same creative orbit. Silhouettes of two different personalities. Zayn Malik and Jungkook have never really been on the same stage, literally or figuratively. Zayn is a symbol of post-boyband artistic freedom, stepping away from the overly bright spotlight, choosing dark, sensual and intimate shades in his music. He rarely appears in public, but every song he releases is always the subject of discussion among music lovers because of its depth, while Jungkook is the personification of dedication and transformation in the spotlight of the world. From BTS shy magne to becoming one of the most explosive and idolized performers in the world, Jungkook grew up in the spotlight and remains an intriguing mystery, but they have one thing in common: they are artists who put their heart into music, and are not afraid to explore. Early signs of London, December 2024. Jungkook was caught on camera at Heathrow Airport, London. Although it was initially thought that it was just a transit before returning to Korea, a British music journalist claims that Jungkook was seen entering Abbey Road Studios, the legendary studio where the Beatles once recorded their songs, and the place Zayn also used to record his solo album. Hybe did not issue any statement. Even the Korean media is biased. But the internet can't lie. An audio engineer leaked that there was a South Korean singer doing a collaborative recording session with an international soloist, on condition of anonymity. Is that Zayn? Is it really Jungkook? The questions echoed like verses of an unfinished song. As time went on, fans began to string together small pieces into big theories. One of Jungkook's biggest fanbases in the UK even made a long thread about coincidences that aren't coincidences, coincidences that are too neat to be considered mere coincidences. In one viral TikTok post, a fan played snippets of two different songs, a demo of Zayn's song that leaked on underground forums last year, and footage believed to be Jungkook's voice from an Abbey Road studio session. When the sounds of the two were stacked, a harmony emerged. Not perfect, but enough to give me chills. This is not an edit, the account wrote. This is the blueprint of a legendary collaboration. Meanwhile, Zayn also provoked a stir. In one of his interviews with Dazed magazine, when asked about which Asian artists he would like to collaborate with, he only briefly replied, "It's already on my list. We talked." No names mentioned. No details, but the way he said it, with a slight smile and a confident tone, was enough to make the global fandom conjure up one common name: Jungkook. Sound from behind the studio, March 2025. A producer named Mike Sabbath, who once worked with Zayn on Nobody Is Listening and is also known for his subtle approach to emotional vocals, uploaded a studio photo with the short caption, "Voices that melt borders." In the picture, two different headphones appear, one in black with the label JK, and the other in white with the inscription Z. Comments immediately flooded. "Are you serious? Zayn Malik is real?" Mike then deleted the photo just 2 hours later. The internet has caught everything. Fans with eagle eyes even analyzed the sound wave pattern on the monitor screen, and claimed that there was a vocal part that was very similar to Jungkook's falsetto voice when singing "Standing Next to You." Conspiracy or reality? The media began to react. Rolling Stone Korea released an opinion piece titled, "If Jungkook Meets Zayn, the sonic fusion we never knew we needed." The article predicts that if this collaboration is real, then the world will witness the most emotional vocal combination in contemporary pop history. They call this not just a collaboration of two singers, but two opposing energies, light and dark, stage and private space, freedom and dedication. Zayn represents the introverted side that chooses silence to create, they wrote. While Jungkook, although often seen on stage, has the same depth of darkness and silence. They can understand each other in silence. Behind the grand stage and the media spotlight, there is one invisible force that often sets the course of an idol's career: agency. In this sense, HYBE is not only home to BTS, but also the center of a complex, ambitious, and highly protective network of power over its artists, especially Jungkook, a golden jewel who has just returned from the military. According to a Korean music industry insider, a cross-country collaboration like this is not an easy thing to agree on. HYBE is very selective, said an executive who has worked with them. If these projects don't provide a strategic advantage or an image that they can control, they will usually be rejected. However, rumors suggest that Jungkook himself approached his management and insisted. She doesn't want to come back just as a K-pop idol, the source continued. He wants to be a global musician. And for that, he knows he has to play outside his comfort zone. But HYBE did not remain silent. They began to organize security measures. Any form of media interaction related to Jungkook was removed in a short time. No confirmation. There is no objection. Everything is made a mystery. And as always, the more mysterious, the crazier the fandom around the world. Shadow of Zayn's past. On the other hand, Zayn faces his own challenges. After leaving One Direction, he has often expressed his dislike for the pressures of the mainstream music industry. He rarely performs live, prefers to work in solitude, and has a reputation for being difficult to reach. But the presence of Jungkook, who is known to be very open to cooperation and discipline in any project, is an interesting contrast. A close friend of Zayn said in an unofficial interview, Zayn was always looking for someone who could understand his soul, not just equalize musical frequencies. And he said, the Korean boy understands. Who else but Jungkook? But Zayn also has wounds from the past, from the expectations of the world, and from inexhaustible internal questions. Is he really ready to return to the global limelight? Is he ready to accept love and criticism on such a large scale? If the answer is yes, then maybe only Jungkook can get him there. Good to see you next time.